Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes. That is caught inside the 5. Touchdown. Tyreek Hill. 35 yards. And the Chiefs are a 2-point conversion away from tying this thing up. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. Mahomes will throw for it. Mahomes hit. He lost the football.
It's all good, baby. It's all good.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
Third quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe first or second, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to I don't like to chase a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And able to get this out to the 25. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. Brady and the Bucs now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Brady. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Edwards-Helaire. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now here's Mahomes. Now he'll escape to his left. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know. I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
4 yards remain on 2nd down. Ball on the 10. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. They run. It's Williams. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. And you wonder, Charles, could that decision come back to haunt them later?
And it really could, because in this situation, you kick the field goal in a tight game like this, that's a good play.
Yeah.
But maybe what he's saying to himself is, I'm just not a big proponent of the old idea that any possession that ends in a kick, I'm happy with. He wanted to be really aggressive.
A little twist here in the 3rd quarter. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Showed some strong running, but quickly corralled just beyond the 10-yard line. L'Jarius Sneed up to make the play defensively.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On 2nd and 7, Brady. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Brady going to throw. Looking downfield for Godwin. He's got a man, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play that time for Tampa Bay.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Over the middle, complete. That's Evans. 7 yards, the pickup there. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides, but to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And a catch right side by Evans. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. Brady. And it's caught. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. The 4th touchdown pass of the game for Tom Brady. And the Buccaneers go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Extra point up and good by Suckup. And that makes this a 9-point game. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. They complete it to Hill. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? You go with a bigger guy to try and use size. You got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. Mahomes now on 1st down. Throw right side going to be caught by Hardman. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he gets it down to the 32. 50 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action. Now Mahomes. Catch is made by Hardman. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll run with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Mahomes. His throw incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So they're coming up here on the 9th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and goal. To throw, it's Mahomes. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Brady going to bring the Bucs up with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. Gets around him. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Shotgun now for Brady. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Brady now on first down. He's going to drop this one down to Bernard. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So now first and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 43. Now Brady. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, I don't want to take too much away from his performance throwing the football. He's got the 4 touchdown passes, but this now a second interception of the ball game.
And partner, part of what's gotten him the 4 touchdowns is a certain fearlessness. But that fearlessness borders with recklessness, and the latter just occurred.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Third quarter action in Super Bowl 57. Here's a 2nd and 10. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
Well, you can absolutely feel the thought process there. They just gave up the touchdown. So in the huddle, they're telling each other, you don't want to give it back now on a 3 and out. Nice job of making sure that they wouldn't, and they pick up the first down.
First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Five yards remain on 2nd down. From midfield, here's Mahomes. A quick slant to Hill. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 37.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
2nd down and 3. They go back to the ground with Edwards-Helaire. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The 71 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
2 yards left on 2nd down from the 9. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. This is caught. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Chiefs have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Now time to get another look at this Buccaneer offense. And the tension ratcheting up all around. A 1-score game. 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. This is what you folks came for. Every play with the potential to win or lose a title as they look to drain some time off this clock. Brady and the Buccaneers here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. He'll begin with a give to Fournette to start the drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Really nice job there by the interior of the Kansas City defensive line. And they're a stout unit to run against. And they do an excellent job there of bottling that play up.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. To throw, it's Brady. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
And this is caught by Evans. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. "37 yards on the punt with no return, and out will come the offense as they take over. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points, and they need them badly. Trailing here in the 4th quarter as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That to his running back, Edwards-Helaire. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes, and getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They're going to look to throw. This is caught by Robinson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Flush to his right. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. From the 30 on 2nd down, Mahomes. That's complete to Robinson. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown! Mahomes finding Tyreek Hill. And the Chiefs have regained the lead in the second half of this Super Bowl.
There it is, partner. You see it. 4 fingers. What does that mean?
Fingers. That signifies the 4th quarter's here.
That's right. Who's going to dominate? Usually both teams are holding them up. We own the 4th quarter, what we found out so far. 2 touchdowns here. and now they've taken the lead.
Yeah, second one putting them in front. You know what I see on the other sideline, though? It seems like they've tensed up, had that lead. They were playing not to lose it, and they've lost it.
That's a great observation. When you play not to lose, you usually don't win.
Now, though, they'll have the opportunity to respond. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead is up to 5. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Do that again, baby. Do it again.
Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. A few better down a score in the fourth quarter than Tom Brady. This is 1st and 10. Now Brady. And his throw here's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Second and 10. Brady now to throw. Over the middle to Evans. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now Brady. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. Hardman on the return. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Travis Kelce and the Chiefs set to take over again. And we see here the productivity certainly has decreased from the start of the game, but sometimes people forget these tight ends, they can do more than just catch the football.
That is so true, because now when things start to happen and you're not getting the ball as much, maybe you change your focus on the game. Maybe you become a very good decoy. Maybe you block a little bit more. But sometimes you have such a great first half, you expect it to continue to roll, and it doesn't just happen that easily in the second.
Now they have been able to shut him down, at least as of late.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. The tight end Kelce has it over the middle. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is 3rd and 8. Mahomes now to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Back now comes Tampa Bay. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. A few better down a score in the fourth quarter than Tom Brady. This is 1st and 10. To throw is Brady. Throwing left side, he's got Gronk, complete. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 36, Brady got his man complete over the middle. That's Evans. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Brady now on first down. Right side, that's complete to Gronkowski. Yeah, he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 36. From the gun, it's Brady. And Brady going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, baseball folks, Charles, they like to talk about the 3 true outcomes, a strikeout, a walk, or a home run. But for this quarterback, it's been the 2 true outcomes here. He's got 4 touchdown passes, but now a 3rd interception.
And it pains you to think that you have to try and tell him to rein it in. But at the same time, you can't just chuck it up there and hope for the best. And old school football coaches will tell you there's 3 true outcomes throwing the ball, and 2 of them are bad.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 right at the 30. Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mahomes finding Hardman here over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Mahomes now on first down. Looking downfield for Kelsey. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a big play there for the Chiefs.
I'm pretty sure any quarterback will tell you it's nice to have a tight end that can stretch the field. And how about him right there, working in the heart of the defense, and they connect on a very nice play downfield, a combination of talent and toughness to go into the briar patch.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Mahomes going to throw. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll be second down. Now here's Mahomes. He's got it. Touchdown. Mahomes finding Tyreek Hill. And the Chiefs are starting to pull away in the fourth quarter of this Super Bowl. We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over. And here a late turnover leads to a fourth quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is being able to take advantage when a turnover presents itself. You've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here, and they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
Butker on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Make a play ball, baby.
The Bucs ready to take over once again. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Brady and the Bucs now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Well, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly, and what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. He'll swing this one out to Edwards-Helaire. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes. This will be caught inside the 10. And the Chiefs are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Now Mahomes. And it's caught. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Darrell Williams. Fine work there on the touchdown run. And the Chiefs are feeling good as they extend their lead in this Super Bowl. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Butker now to add the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. Those Super Bowl hopes that they had really dwindling now here in the 4th quarter. That NFC crown that they got 2 weeks ago seems like a distant memory as they have been outplayed tonight. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. To throw again on 2nd down. Brady. Here's Johnson with a reception. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Brady again. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Brady. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 14. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Into the red zone, it's Brady. Evans has it left side. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Again, they'll throw with Brady. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Bucs have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Extra point try now for Succop. And they're able to cut the deficit to 12. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. And the Kansas City Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.